Welcome to another episode of Inspiration Motives. Today's leadership lesson is going to be, do you need to know everything in order to be a good leader? I'm going to give you 3 steps. As you know, I'm currently a Master Sergeant in the United States Air Force. All these thoughts are my own personal thoughts and opinions. These do not reflect the United States Air Force. So let's get started. So the first thing that I'd say is you need to know your job. So at the end of the day, wherever you're leading, you do need to know your job as far as knowing what these people are, whether it's building something, whether it's creating something, whether it's whatever business it is, you need to know what the business entails. Now, the second part to this is knowing your limitations. Do you need to know everything in order to be a good leader in that job? No, you don't. You need to know your limitations. You need to know and be real with yourself. If you know that there's something you're not comfortable in or something that you haven't done before, something like that, do not fake it. Your people are going to respect you more when you're honest about it and you're not just making them do extra work because you're playing a guessing game and you're making them pretty much do double, triple the work because you don't know what you're doing. So be honest. Be honest when it comes to your limitations. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody's perfect. The last thing that I'll say when it comes to that is picking the right person for the job. So I've always heard a bunch of times, some people are like, hey, like, how can this person be leading if they don't know every little thing because they didn't know this or they didn't know that? No, a good leader knows their people. That's what happens when you build your team. A good leader knows how to build a good team. You gotta be able to know what your people's strengths and weaknesses are, and you capitalize off of that. So the thing is, if you know there's somebody that's really good with computers and things like that, that might be your inputting or admin person. But guess what? Now, if you know that there's somebody that's lacking in that's not that good when it comes to the admin stuff and the technology stuff like that, how about you pair that person so that weakness they could get a little bit of strength in it or they could start learning a little bit. That way, they'll kind of complement each other. At the same time, you might have somebody who's a hands-on person and you could ask them to build whatever you want, ask them to fix whatever you want, and you know that's your go-to person. And then you have somebody else who maybe lacks that experience. They might be good in a different part. For example, they might be good in the admin part, but they're just lacking on that hands-on. Pair them up with that person that's great with the hands-on. That way you're building them up. And little by little, pretty much, you use the team to build each other up. There's nothing wrong with if you're in a meeting and they ask you, hey, like, have you ever built a brand new building and you never have? Don't lie. Just know your people well enough and be like, I haven't, but I know so-and-so has. I could talk to so-and-so and get some more information. Maybe I'll put that person as the lead on this project. These are the things that you need to know when it comes to judging whether or not you're going to be a good leader or not. Don't let anybody tell you that you need to know every single thing in order to be a good leader. One of the best advice that I've ever got when I was a police officer for a little bit was my very first day I sat down with the chief of police and she told me, she was like, hey, she was like, when any supervisor positions come up, anything like that, any sergeant positions, I want you to apply to it. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm very green. I just started this job. I don't even know if I'm going to be a good cop or not. Then what followed, her response after that is what clicked. Her thing was, she was like, no matter in life, whether you were playing a sport, whether you were starting a new job, the first time you ever did it, you had no idea what the hell you were doing. You knew the bare minimums, and that was it. It was through practice and through repetition that eventually you ended up becoming good at it. So same thing goes with being a leader. Don't be afraid to be in that leadership role and learn while you're on the job. The big thing is to know that have good mentors, have good people around you, treat your people good. And like I said, once you cover that basis, you're good to go. So let's review again. So the three biggest things that I'll say when it comes to the question, do you need to know everything in order to be a good leader? Is nope. You need to just know your job, know and be real with your limitations, know your people and pick that right person for the job. Those are my three takeaways. All right, if you like this, just hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. Until next time, see ya.